Come on in, everyone. Come on in. My name's Deborah, and we are here for Ready to Love Season 10, and we are on episode, this is Season 9, Episode 10. Ready to Love Season 9, Episode 10, and this is Tommy's Getaway Part 2, and I guess it is a getaway because it's get away from here. Get away from here. Chaz says, I got to get away from here. It was supposed to be a getaway from home to come to this retreat, but it's turned into I got to get away from this retreat. Woo. We was wondering who was going to go home. We weren't really wondering who was going to go home. We knew it was William. And William went on home. And he talking about he got mixed emotions because he don't think he really should have been the one to go home. Yes, you were, William. You was the one to go home. And Patrice was all upset about it. She was upset. Why was Patrice so upset? I think William really dumped on Patrice. I think when William was sitting there by the campfire with Patrice, he really tugged on her heartstrings. He must have dumped a lot of heavy stuff on her and got Patrice feeling all sorry for William. Then next thing you know, Patrice is also chasing after Chaz, trying to go see what he's crying about, and she's crying. Is Patrice Captain Save-A-Hole? Is Patrice a Captain Save-A-Hole? Does Patrice have a savior complex? Because when you think back to what Patrice told us early on, what was one of her dating woes? She told us, what's your dating woe out here, Patrice? And Patrice said, I don't know why I get stuck with these men where I'm always doing for them. I got to drive 45 minutes to their house. They not doing nothing for me. I like younger men. We saw that ex-boyfriend of hers. He said he was a hoe in the street. Does Patrice like to save people? Is Patrice a Captain Save-A-Hole? I know most of the time we refer to men as that, but when I look at Patrice and I see the moves she makes, does she have sort of a hero complex that she wants to be the hero? Is there just some spirit in her where she sees wounded people and she likes to run to them and she likes to save them and she likes to be maybe that makes her feel in a superior position? I don't know. I don't want to completely psychoanalyze her, but she's getting something out of it. Because I told you when she was chasing after Chaz, I didn't really think it was because she really cared for Chaz. Maybe she started to sniff out the real woundedness in Chaz. Maybe before when Chaz was running around, acting like he was the big man on campus. But then all of a sudden, maybe Patrice actually saw the real Chaz, the wounded Chaz. And maybe that's why she became attracted to him, because she definitely liked men who she feels she has some positional power over. I believe it. She likes to have some position. She doesn't want to be the weak link in the relationship. She wants to be the stronger one in the relationship. And the more you show your weakness, the more Patrice is going to like you, because it seems like the minute a man starts to show weakness and lots of vulnerability and lots of whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to conflate vulnerability with weakness. I don't. So don't nobody drop down in my comments. It's not vulnerability that she's attracted to. That's not what she's attracted to. I think she's attracted to wounded people. And I think that, this is her explanation when she talking about the men she goes after, where she always seems to have to be the one doing everything. Or maybe she likes wounded men. Because I'm telling you, once William poured out his heart to her and talked about how wounded he was, all of a sudden she's crying for him leaving out. We didn't see no connection between Patrice and William, too much so. And then all of a sudden she's chasing after Chaz, going to his room. But I told y'all about Chaz. I told you that Chaz was for the streets, okay? And if any of you guys watched my last car talk video, I explained to you the road to being a cat daddy and the road to being a sugar daddy. And one of the roads I talked to you about, that men at 47, they get there either two ways. They either get there because they actually like to be philanderers out in the street. They like to be the playboy in the street. Or they get there because they're so wounded, no one woman is ever good enough for them and they can't make a decision. They never can pick a woman. They never can choose a woman. And that's what creates this loneliness, this aloneness in their life. And they go through life and no one is ever good enough for them to choose. And what was happening to Chaz in this episode is he was in a pressure cooker. A pressure cooker. Because remember, Chaz is, like I said, a cat daddy, on his way to be a cat daddy, on his way to be a sugar daddy, because he can't decide. He can't pick a woman. He's 47. He can't pick a woman. And even in this scenario on Ready to Love, nobody was asking him to pick a woman to fall in love with right now, or even pick a woman to marry. People were just saying, why don't you just pick a woman who you want to get to know better on this 2-day weekend? It really is a simple request. Hey, pick a woman. Pick a woman, even if it's just one or two, that you've decided that you want to sit down on this getaway weekend and you want to spend more intimate time with her and you want to get to know her better. And what Chaz is telling everyone is, I can't choose. I can't pick one. I can't decide. Why can't you decide, Chaz? What are the risks? What are the risks if you just say, you know what, I'm going to go with Rashina and Vanessa. That's what I'm going to pick. And I'm going to get to know them. So what if it doesn't work out? So what if you choose wrong, Chaz? What's the fear? Why can't you decide? Why can't you make a decision? What have you crafted in your head that you're so afraid of making the wrong decision? So what Chaz likes to do is stay in his own little bubble. That way it's nice and safe. There's no risk there. But you know what? There are no rewards. I talked about walls. The walls protect you from the bad people, but the walls also keep you from good people. It's no different with Chaz. Chaz doesn't want to take any risk in love because love is a risk. Love, you could get hurt. Love, you could get divorced. Love could be a lot of things, but it's a risk. Chaz doesn't want to take any risk. He doesn't want to take any risk. So what does he do? He flees. He says, this idea that you want me to decide to pick one woman to spend 2 days with, that's it, Chaz. Yes, Chaz, that's the ask. That's the ask, Chaz. Pick one woman, or you know what, Chaz, we'll give you two. Just pick two of them. Tell only two of the women, you are the two I want to get to know better over this weekend. The third one, you go tell that third one, you don't know what? I've decided on these two. This is who I want to get to know. But Chaz wants to make it all pretend like it's for the women. It's not for the women. You're not doing this because you're afraid to hurt the women. That's not what this is about. This is him turning it around. This is about you're afraid, period, of making the wrong decision. And like I said, people stay out in the streets for various reasons. Some people are in the streets because they're so afraid of other people. Some people are afraid of themselves. And Chaz is a wounded man. He is a wounded man, and he couldn't even make a decision on just two women. And some of you say, well, he doesn't like any of the women. That's why he doesn't want to choose. No, that's not it, because he hasn't chosen in his whole entire 47 years. See, this is the trap when people get with cat daddies and sugar daddies, is because what people tend to believe when they get with a Chaz in the world, they think that it was the women's fault that why Chaz couldn't choose. It's the women's fault. And then that woman comes and says, well, I'm going to be different. I'm not going to be those other women in which Chaz couldn't choose. I'm going to be a different woman. And then it's going to be easy for him to choose me. But they don't understand that it was never about the women. It's about Chaz. See, that's the mistake Vanessa made. Vanessa believed that it was as if Chaz hasn't just met the right woman and she was going to be the right woman. She doesn't understand that he has a problem with the decision, period. That's why he's been here for 47 years. That's why he had to leave. He had to flee. Now, what was the pressure cooker for him is typically what a cat daddy on to be a sugar daddy does is it doesn't mean that they're out in the street trying to run multiple women, because once they get old to being a cat daddy, they can't run multiple women. They can't physically, they can't do it. That's what the blue pill is about. That's what all that stuff is about. They actually cannot run multiple women. But what they do is they will still hook up with one woman and they'll never promise her anything. And they have serial relationships, which means they go from woman to woman. They get one woman, they promise her a bunch of things or make her believe she's going to get a bunch of things. They waste her time. And then eventually he moves on to another woman because he's never going to deliver. That's why he's a cat daddy on the way to be a sugar daddy. Because once he gets older, in order to even lure that woman in where he can waste her time, she ain't going to waste her time with him. He's going to have to start paying for that woman a lot more. Like I said, he better go to therapy and figure out why he can't make a decision, why he can't even make a simple decision as in let me just choose 1 or 2 women to get to know more on this vacation. We all watch Ready to Love many seasons. We know that when it comes time to the getaway, you should have narrowed your choices down to 2 women. 2 women. Chaz not only didn't narrow his choices down, he added a 4th woman. He added Patrice. Mieka's not even in the, so when they talk about this box, there is no box. Mieka's not interested in Chaz. There's no box. Chaz is creating the box. The women have not created the box. Everybody trying to blame the women. Why are the women all trying to get in Chaz's box? The women have not created the box. Chaz's indecision has created the box. Chaz has the power. He has authority to destroy the box. Mieka's really not part of the box, so that's not even a box. It's a triangle. And the truth of the matter is he should have never even accepted Patrice in the box. Even if she came and got to know him, he should have told her, well, you know what? Maybe we could have had a chance early in the process, but at this point in time, I'm keeping it down to Vanessa and Rashina. But he didn't do it. You know why? Because he doesn't like to make decisions. He likes to stay in indecision. And then what he does is he's blaming the women, saying you putting too much pressure on me. No, it's not the women's fault. It's Chaz's fault. Chaz wants to stay in the streets. The streets are where you don't have to decide where you're coming home every single night. The street says I could wander the streets. I really don't have to decide where my home is going to be. I can keep wandering the streets. Chaz wants to wander. He doesn't want to be locked down. That's why I said stay away from cat daddies on to be sure. Look at people's track records. Don't think, ladies, that you're so special that you're going to take a man that's been in the streets for 47 years, hasn't made a decision in 47 years, that you're going to be the woman that all of a sudden comes along and makes him decide. You better look into his past. You better look around. You better figure it out. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. And don't be so sure of yourself, Vanessa, the Vanessas of the world, that you're the woman that's going to change them. That you're the woman that's going to come along and you're the one that all of a sudden, here's a man who hasn't been able to make a decision. He's going to make one with you. Be very, very, very careful of who you think is going to be different just because you came along. I know Chaz comes back and by the end of the show, he should have stayed gone. He said he wanted to go home to where people love him and people know him and people understand him. Basically, he said, I wanted to go home where people let me keep doing what I want to do. And that is not make a decision. People who accept me for not making a decision. People who understand me for not making a decision. All you ladies here, you're not understanding why I haven't made a decision. But I need to go home where people understand that I don't want to make a decision. And you ladies are making me feel that way. What you ladies are trying to do, you ladies are trying to make me be someone different. And I keep telling you, I don't make decisions. I'm 47 years old. I haven't made a decision in 47 years, not one that I stick with. And you trying to make me make one. And it ain't even a big decision. All it is about choosing 1 or 2 women that you want to spend your time with in this getaway weekend. And we don't act like we asking you to cure cancer. It ain't even that big of a decision, and it's too much pressure for him. He had to leave. He had to flee. Imagine being in a relationship with Chaz. Imagine trying to get Chaz to move along in the relationship, and he says, this is too much pressure. I can't take it. You keep trying to force me to make decisions and be someone I don't want to be, then he's going to break up with you. The minute you start pressuring him to take the relationship to another level, he's going to blame you for it and tell you now you putting pressure on him. Just like Vanessa said, I can't tell if he's gaslighting me or not. He is gaslighting you, Vanessa. He's gaslighting you, all right. Wake up. So when Patrice was up under her covers crying in the room, Vanessa said she's going to go up there and knock on Patrice's door and try to console her. And Patrice didn't open up the door because Patrice, ain't nobody friends with Vanessa. I told you Vanessa got bad customer service. Bad customer service. Vanessa sent me a bad customer service letter on my last video. I don't know if any of y'all saw it. I'd done a video last week on Dominique, and Dominique did a whole lot of talking in his video on Vanessa and also on Chaz. He had a few words. So of course, in my review of the interview that he did with Crystal XO, I talked about it. And Vanessa sent me a bad customer service letter. You ever get one of them letters from a company, you hereby are informed? That was Vanessa. Sent me a bad customer service letter, then tried to lie on me. Tried to lie on me and said I said she slept with Chaz. I didn't say that. I never said that Vanessa slept with Chaz. What I said was that according to Dominique, he said that Vanessa was touchable. He's touchable. She's touchable. All I said was I believe that there was some touching going on. I said, and in fact, I said, I'm not going to say that they slept together, but I believe that they touched. And then Vanessa got down in my comments and lied on me. She lied on me, and then what she did was she created another story. Now, Vanessa, when I tell you that you underestimate your audience, and I told you that you underestimated Chaz, you also underestimated me. Because if you believe, I believe that you were so careless that you will be listening to one of my videos and that your son would walk into the room and of our video, he would hear the one part where I said that I believe there was touching going on between Vanessa and Chaz. If you believe I believe that, then once again, you've underestimated me. Like I said, you underestimate your audience all the time. And again, you've underestimated. I don't believe it one bit, Vanessa. I think, Vanessa, I triggered you. I think that you were upset about what I said, which is okay for you to be upset about it. And I really wish you had just done it like everybody else who drops down in my comments, who tells me, oh, I'm this or that, or I'm wrong. I don't mind that, Vanessa. I don't mind. Dominique has done it. Chaz has done it. Plenty of people drop down in my comments and tell me I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with it. But what I didn't appreciate about Vanessa's approach is that she tried to use her child to manipulate me. She made up a story about her child to try to manipulate me. And Vanessa, I'm not up for manipulation. I'm not up for manipulation. So I didn't really appreciate you using your child in a lie to try to manipulate me. I don't believe it, Vanessa. I don't believe that you were watching my video on the phone with no earphones in, and then in that moment, your 6-year-old child came in the room, and then as you say, your 6-year-old child said, well, why is that woman talking about that? And then you start giving a whole speech to your child about sometimes people lie. Really, Vanessa? You think I believe that story? If anybody watches me every single week, y'all already know I don't believe that story. I believe you used it as an inroad to come here and complain about what I said to you. Just come and complain about what I said. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you saying that I'm wrong. I'm okay if you saying you heard me wrong. I'm okay with all of that. But I don't appreciate you using your child to do that. That was wrong, Vanessa, and that's what I'm going to say. But if you want to drop down in my comments at any point in time and you want to say what I said is wrong, just like Chaz said what I said was wrong, just like Dominique comes in here and calls me a grandma and all these other kind of things and call all of us MFs, that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. But don't use a child. Don't use your child. And another thing I say is if that did happen, then that's careless on your part as a mother. I'm going to say it there. It was careless on your part to be listening to my video where my video was all about Dominique cursing. My video, I'm cursing in my own video. I'm talking about all types of subjects that are inappropriate, which means you would have had to be listening to my video for at least 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And for you to have been careless to let your 6-year-old child come in the room and hear all parts of my video, that would have been careless on your part. So either way, Vanessa, if you're telling me the truth, that is what happened, then you were careless, okay? That you were careless. And second of all, if you were lying, that's manipulative. I'm not up for manipulation. Please don't do that, people. People, please don't do that to me. But y'all, it's interesting how these couples are forming. And y'all know I love love. Y'all know I love love. So once two people decide they want to be together, I ain't going to be the one that's going to poop on their dreams. I'm not going to be the one that poops on their love. I'm not going to poop on it if they can form a relationship. In fact, what I'm going to start looking for is I'm going to start looking for reasons that they have in common that, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was the one in the beginning that said, I don't know. But if they want to say, no, we choose each other, I'm a root for them. So the first people I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at Mieka and Justin. Mieka and Justin. So my original position with Justin was that Justin was lying when he said he was okay with not having kids. Because when he went over to Maya and she didn't have kids, he was like, oh yeah, I want to have kids. I want to have kids. But then when he was talking to Mieka, he was then saying, I'm okay with not having kids. What was the truth? Is he a man that really wants to have kids, or is he a man that is okay with not having kids? Because he said two different things. But, now he's over here with Mieka. And we all know now that Mieka, not only does Mieka not want to have any kids, she's also taking additional measures in her own personal life to make sure she don't have no more kids. Okay, because we've been told this by two people. We've been told this by Dominique, and then we also were told this by I think William told me. I listened to part of the Williams interview, y'all. I just haven't finished it. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna do a video on that too. But there was a part in his video where he mentions it again. So I'm quite sure, I guess Mieka has told several people, and she pretty much has probably told Justin. So he knows for sure that this is not a situation where she doesn't want to. It's a situation where she has made a pretty drastic measure in her life to say she's not going to have any more children. But Justin is still there. So now I have to say, okay, so Justin knows the truth, but he still chooses to be with Mieka. Mieka's warming up. Mieka's opening up to him. He was sick in the bed. She was trying to pretend like she's a caretaker and she's nurturing, but we know she's not. We know Mieka didn't quite know what to do, but that's okay. That's okay. So now what I want to look at is I never had a problem with, or I never was confused on why I think Mieka would like Justin, because I can see why Mieka would like Justin. First of all, Mieka is a single mom with 2 children, and it sounds as if the father of her 2 children really aren't all that active and present in the children's life. So I could see Mieka wanting not only a man for herself, companion for herself, love for herself, but she would also want someone who would be able to step in for her sons that are father figures. She said one of her sons is pretty wild. I think it's the younger one. She said her son was wild. She told LaRon, I don't think that you can handle that. But, Justin's a school teacher. He's around a lot of children. So I can see how Mieka could say, well, even though he doesn't have any children like LaRon, he's quite a bit different because he's around children all day. So he has experience with children. So I can see how when she maybe not give LaRon a chance, she would give a person like Justin a chance. And Justin has said, hey, maybe I'm okay with not having any children. So I could see Mieka liking Justin. The other part I could see about her liking Justin might be a lot of reasons why a lot of other women disregard Justin. And let's not pretend that a lot of women out here nowadays, they want men to make a certain amount of money. They want men to make 6 figures because they're looking for a man to provide for them financially or substantially contribute to their financial life. Mieka, on the other hand, has a lot more priorities. She's got the priorities of her children. She's already paying her own bills. She's an esthetician. She got a business going. So in Mieka's life, she says, you know what? Even if I got a man to come along and help me with what I got, help me with my children, contribute to the household financially, that's a win for me. Because right now, I'm paying all the bills by myself. Right now, I'm taking care of these kids all by myself. And even though Justin may not make 6 figures, he makes enough money. He paying rent somewhere. He paying $1,500 to $2,000 a month somewhere else. So what's wrong with him bringing that $2,000 over into my house? And then I will have more money to help pay for these kids that I got, where these men over here may not be giving me the type of child support I need. It's a win for Mieka. It is a win for Mieka. A lot of people may say, well, hey, it's a win for Mieka, but is it a win for Justin? Well, it depends if it's a win for Justin. I can see a scenario where it is a win for Justin, because what if Justin really doesn't want any children? What if he really is okay? A lot of school teachers are around kids all the time, and a lot of school teachers do not fantasize having kids. They don't fantasize it because they know what the real work is in having children. They see it every single day. They see good kids. They see bad kids. They see how much work it is with children. And they start to say to themselves, you know what? I'm really okay not having any children. And maybe I'm okay stepping in to help raise 2 children that are already sort of on their way. I don't need to start from scratch. I can come in and help Mieka with her children. I'd rather come in and help than go off and have to start from scratch. So if Justin really is in a position where he is okay with being a father figure to other kids, because in a lot of ways at school, I bet he's a father figure. You know how many children there are in school that don't have any daddies? You know how many children there are in a school where they might look at Justin right now as a father figure or an uncle figure or a big brother figure, depending on what grade he teaches. I don't know. He may be already playing that role in a lot of kids' lives. He may already be the father figure the big brother figure, the uncle figure in a lot of kids' life. So what he's saying is, I do it every day, all day anyway. What's wrong with me being that for Mieka's children? I could see a scenario. And I also think that Justin wants to be accepted. Because one thing that I see about Justin, at first, when Justin was not with Maya, I was trying to figure out, would Maya want to be with Justin? This is before. When Maya played that little game and they said, twerk in front of a person you least have a connection with, we saw that Maya twerked in front of Justin, shook her booty in front of Justin. I thought at that moment was Maya was sending a message, don't bark up this tree because I'm not interested in no school teacher. But what Justin didn't do is he didn't take the hint. Justin instead then still decided to be a connection of Maya, which was interesting because I was wondering why he didn't take the hint that Maya said, I really don't want to be with no man who makes less than 6 figures. And I was really interested that why Justin still kept barking up Maya's tree. But after he went on that date with Maya and that ex came there and that ex told him, nah, buddy, you ain't gonna make it. Your school teacher's salary is not gonna be able to keep Maya satisfied. He still tried it, but once he really realized that door was shut, he left. He left. And I would imagine that a lot of women shut the door on Justin. He seems like he's a nice guy. He's good looking. He seems like he has a nice personality. But there's so many women out here nowadays that don't look at those things. They look solely at money, or money is such a priority that Justin may not have a chance with a lot of women. He ain't got no chance with a woman like Maya because Maya shut the door on him because of his salary. So now you got a woman like Mieka who said, you know what, your salary isn't as important. What's more important to me is that you come in and you be a father figure to my children, that you come in and you at least start contributing to our household. And all of a sudden now, Justin is wanted. Justin is desired. You see, so I could see a scenario where for Justin, this could be a good place for him. It could be a good place for him because what he could say is, yeah, I may not be able to have any children of my own, but maybe he doesn't really want to. Maybe he's around kids so much. Maybe he is correct when he's saying, I've come to the conclusion it may not be something I do. Not because he doesn't want, he can't, but because he doesn't want to. So for that, I can see Maya and Justin getting along. They seem like they have a lot of fun together. In fact, they also kind of talk alike. Have y'all noticed that that Mieka and Justin sound a lot alike? But nonetheless, they seem like a cute couple. I'm a root for them. I'm a root for them. I'm a root that their friendship grows into love, and that their love grows into whatever they want it to grow in, because they seem to be making each other happy right now. They seem like they thick as thieves. They seem like they're both being authentic and real with each other. I don't think either one of them are necessarily playing with each other's hearts. And so for that reason, I'm going to turn and start rooting for Mieka and Justin. I hope it works out. I really, really do. So where does that put Rashina with Justin? In the friend zone? She's always been in the friend zone. I've been saying this all season long, that Rashina gets put in the friend zone of every man. The truth be told, she really was in the friend zone with Chaz too. I don't really believe there was any real romantic interest with Chaz to Rashina. Sure, he was sucking that strawberry out her mouth. I don't believe it. I've said it from the very beginning that Rashina is a very pretty woman, but Rashina exudes friend zones to men. Her approach with men, her conversation with men does not make men see her in a romantic way. They look at Rashina as their equal, or Rashina sometimes in their adversary. Even in the last elimination date, when she was sitting there with Chaz, her approach, her conversation with Chaz was not of any type of romantic vibes whatsoever. Rashina was coming in saying, I'm going to eliminate myself. She wanted to get her words out first. She wanted to be the one to say no to Chaz before Chaz could tell her that I'm not choosing you. Okay? And you could see it. Rashina didn't want to get rejected. She wouldn't even let Chaz get a word in edgewise. And Chaz was like, let me talk before I forget what I want to say. I had this pre-prepared speech I want to say. I need to get the words out. And Rashina was like, no, I ain't letting you get these words out because I'm going to eliminate myself before you get to reject me. But Rashina's husband said the same thing about her. Rashina's husband said Rashina likes to debate. Rashina likes to go back and forth. Rashina likes to argue. We've seen it in a lot of dates with Rashina that she gets in these verbal jousts with men. I'm not even going to say it's arguments because sometimes it's just a differing of opinion, which doesn't mean it's an argument, but she likes to go back and forth. Rashina is going to have to learn how to just do this sometimes. If she ever wants to be in a relationship with a man, she's going to have to sometimes learn to listen to things that sometimes she doesn't have to agree with it. I'm not saying she has to agree. What I'm saying is what a person says, it doesn't always warrant a response. And just because you listen to someone doesn't mean that you have to agree with them. But it also means that you don't have to challenge anytime someone says something that you don't like or you don't agree with. You don't. Silence doesn't mean acceptance. Silence, listening to a person, doesn't mean that you agree with them. It can sometimes mean that I'm just don't want to get into a situation where I'm challenging everyone on everything they say. That's what Rashina needs to learn, because when she challenges everything that a person says, when she also always has to exert her opinion, I'm telling you, she gets put in the friend zone of all men. All men. I've said it from the very beginning. No matter who Rashina has gone out with, she has been put in the friend zone. And it isn't just because of her age. It isn't just because that she has children. Okay. She could meet a man her same age that has children, and Rashina's going to get put in the friend zone. It's because how she handles men, and it's how she handles dates. I hope she really learns something from this Ready to Love. I hope Rashina doesn't believe that it's because none of these men were the man for her, or none of these men, or she wasn't the man for the women. I hope she really looks at her dating style and realizes how she's also making mistakes in her dating journey, so that whenever she decides she wants to get more out of dating, she realizes that the power to get more out of her dating journey lies within her. It lies within her being different, not from the man being different. I really don't like when women just date a bunch of men looking for a different man, but they don't look to be different themselves in the dating world. The key is for you to be different in the dating world, not to keep looking for a different man. Okay? Because even when you find the man you want, if you don't learn how to be different in a relationship, to bend and to mold and to come in agreement with the person, even if you get into the relationship, you won't be able to keep it. Because the techniques to get into a relationship are also going to be techniques for you to thrive within a marriage. You see what I'm saying? So when I talk about being able to hold your tongue, being able not to challenge people on every thought that they have, it's just not a skill you need to get into a relationship. It's a skill you need to stay in one. So this lesson I'm talking about, Rashina, she needs to learn it, period. She needs to learn it. So if she ever wants to be in a relationship, she's going to need to learn it. And I hope this journey on Ready to Love, she'll learn from it. I really, really hope so. But Chaz is turned off by Vanessa too. He's turned off by Vanessa because he said Vanessa doesn't have any emotional maturity. I agree with that too, Chaz. I agree with it. I agree with it as well. As much as I said who Chaz is, cat daddy on the way to be a cat daddy, on the way to be a sugar daddy, I agree with the emotional maturity of Vanessa, because you know what? She proved it when she dropped down in my comments and sent me that manipulative customer service letter. She proved it then to me that this is not a mature response. Vanessa is real good for advocating what she deserves, what she wants from a person. That's what she told Chaz. Of 11 hours, you haven't given me no time. It wasn't that she wasn't right. It was, and that's the strength of Vanessa. She said it from the very beginning when she talked to Chaz. I like you because it looks like you don't need a lot of attention. You don't need a lot of validation. Okay. Vanessa looks at relationships in terms of what she can get out of them, not what she can give to them. I'll tell you that right now. And I really see where she's going with things. She focuses on what you can do for her, what you need to do for her, what she wants out of it, what you're doing wrong. And she doesn't take any personal responsibility for the things that she does. I said before in that video with Dominique, which is why I think she got triggered when I told her she should have stayed in a relationship and she should have figured out how to make it work. And I'm going to stand with it. Because Vanessa's not meant for this dating world where she is now. Because even in this little conversation she would have with Chaz, I said, oh, she's not prepared for dealing with a man like Chaz. She doesn't recognize who she's dealing with. Chaz said Vanessa is all or nothing. Her way or no way. I'm pretty sure I know who Vanessa is. Like I said, two things can be right at the same time. Chaz can point out the flaws in Vanessa, and Vanessa can point out the flaws in Chaz, and they can both be right. But one of the things that Chaz is honed in on is that Vanessa's concentration on what she wants makes her not have any concentration on what another person needs. She's focused on what's best for her, what she wants and what she needs. And what that does is when you're in a relationship with her is the relationship can be all about pleasing her, which we know is impossible, that no one can be 100% pleased. And when they're not pleased, then what does that person do? What does that person do when they're not pleased? You know what they do? They send you a bad customer service letter. They send you a warning letter and they tell you what you need to do in order to make yourself in a different way to accommodate who they are, right? So when Vanessa sent me that bad customer service letter, she focused on what I need to do. She didn't focus on what she needs to do, what she needs to do differently, like shut the door, lock her door if she want to watch my video, put in some earphones, not listen to the video. She focused on what I need to do. Okay. And there you go. That tells you right then and there. And it's what I said in the video before. And even when she talked about with her ex-husband, what he needed to be, what he needed to do, where she was not pleased. I know who Vanessa is. But now we move on to the other couple, which is LaRon and Maya. LaRon and Maya. And Maya said, this might be where I belong. LaRon is in love. They got all these things in common. They both like to go out. Maya said we need to go out at least once a month if we're going to be together. LaRon said once a month. Shoot, we're going to be out at least once a week. At least once a week. These two are going to be lit out there in the street together. Have a good time. Do your thing. VIP, like I said, top shelf. Have some good food because LaRon loves to eat. Go out, have some good food. Maya says she loves a seafood. So does LaRon. He likes crawfish. He loves catfish. He loves all seafood. So these two are going to have a really great time. Will it last? I don't think so. I don't think so. But you know what? Hey, ride that pony till the pony knocks you off, LaRon. Ride that pony till the pony knocks you off. And will there come a time when LaRon can't keep up with Maya's demands? I think there will. I think there will come a time. But you know what? Hey, they look like they two peas in a pod in terms of they want to go out and have a good time. They want to have fun. Later on in life, they're going to want to have kids later on. Sounds wonderful. They both got entrepreneurial endeavors. Maya got her waist trainer going on. LaRon over here, I think he says he does something in computers or something like that. He does his own little side gigs or what have you. It looked like it's lining up good. I'm happy for y'all. I am happy for you. But Maya said that when Chaz went off storming and he was crying and leaving the house, he said folks need to be able to handle their emotions. Well, then I don't know why you with LaRon. I don't know why you with LaRon, because LaRon can't handle his emotions. So the minute LaRon has an emotional outburst, Mieka gonna be gone. Maya just told you she want a man with money who's gonna spend money on her, and she don't want no man that's got emotional outbursts. That's another reason why she dropped William, because William became too emotional. Maya don't want to have the responsibility of your emotions, not at all. And LaRon, we know he's all emotions. So I think it's only a matter of time before this becomes a big bust. I think in the beginning, it's going to be lots of fun. It's going to be lots of going out. It's going to be a lot of drinking, a lot of twerking, a lot of good seafood. But can it endure its longevity? I don't think so, because I don't think that they have each other. They don't have what they're going to need to sustain the relationship. Because sometimes that's why opposites attract, because sometimes you bring something to a relationship that helps steady the relationship. And I think Maya and LaRon right now, they bonding over being out in the lounge, drinking, eating, twerking, having fun. And that's just not enough to sustain a relationship. It's enough to begin one, but it ain't enough to sustain one. But like I said, once you declare that you want to be with someone, I'm going to stand behind you. So right now, you know what? Good luck, LaRon and Maya. Good luck to you. And then the last couple, Alonzo and Patrice. Patrice said, now that Chaz is gone, I guess I'm just going to fully concentrate on Alonzo. He's going to be my choice. So she got her younger man because she said Alonzo is fun. He likes to have fun. And every time she's with him, she has a good old time. she has a good old time and she can have a good time. I think that is a position that she's comfortable in. I think Patrice is comfortable in the position of being the leader in a relationship. I think that's been evident by the men that she's chosen. I think now we see that in how she reacts to men in certain conditions. I think she gravitates towards that. So I can see in a lot of ways of why she is attracted to Alonzo. We'll see what it goes. I don't think it has much longevity either. Because I think Patrice has 2-3 kids, and I don't know if Alonzo's ready to be that for her in her relationship. I think he might be ready for Patrice, but I don't know if he's ready for Patrice and all the rest of Patrice's life. Maybe if they could date in a bubble, maybe, but they can't date in a bubble once they leave Ready to Love. They have to date in their real lives. And I don't know if Alonzo is ready for Patrice's real life. So we'll see. But once again, like I said, once people say that they're going to be together, I'm going to root for you. I'm going to root for you. I hope it works out for you. Like I said before, I was one of the few people who liked Alonzo from the beginning. I thought that all that stuff he did with Koshia, a lot of it was the doing of Koshia. And as you can see, as the season has gone on, you can see that that's not who I think Alonzo is a sweet person. I think he's a sweet man. I've always thought he's had a good heart. I've said it from the very beginning. And now we are here at the end of the season. And when you look at all the men, and you look at all the men in terms of who they are, being authentic and being a genuinely nice person, I think Alonzo stands out. And I said it from the very beginning. Is he silly? Is he immature? Doesn't he grow? Absolutely. I said that from the beginning. But who Koshia was painting him as in the very beginning, I didn't agree with it. I didn't believe it. And I'm glad to see that at the end of the season, or getting close to the end of the season, more people are able to see that about Alonzo. So good luck to Alonzo and Patrice. I mean, a lot of ways, who knows? Maybe that might be what Patrice gets turned off by Alonzo, because I don't see any bad boy in Alonzo. I don't see any of that. But maybe he'll be a project for her in helping him mature, because I think Patrice likes a project. She's kind of Captain Save-A-Hoe. She likes to be the hero in the relationship. So maybe that's why she decides she wants to take Alonzo under her wings. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, that's it, y'all. I am going to get to the Will interview, and I'm also going to get to Love is Blind reunion. So if any of you guys watch those, Love is Blind, or you've watched the Will interview on Little Black Book Kojo's channel, be sure to come back, because I'm absolutely going to do a review on the Will video. All right, that's it, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.